See this. Okay, I've got breaking news that the Prime Minister has called for an all-party meeting on the 5th of June, on the 19th of June at 5 p.m. That's the story we are breaking at this time. Paulami Saha joins us. Paulami, big breaking news. The Prime Minister calling a meeting to discuss the situation along the India-China border. Tell us more.
That's right. The Prime Minister has just tweeted out that he has in fact called for a virtual all-party meeting on the 19th of June at 5 p.m. The presidents of various political parties will be participating in this all-party meeting, which will be specifically on the issue of the India-China border face-off. Now, this is extremely significant given that Rahul Gandhi today, in this morning itself, had tweeted saying, what is the Prime Minister hiding? Why is he silent? Enough is enough. We need to know what happened to our brave soldiers and what is the situation at the border, at the line of actual control. And now the Prime Minister has, of course, called for this meeting. Extremely important. He was briefed by the Defence Minister last evening. The External Affairs Minister was present as well. He has constantly been taking updates from those who are monitoring the situation at the border and receiving updates from there. And now, of course, because of calls coming in from various political parties that this is unprecedented what has happened, and protocol demands that the Prime Minister brief various opposition parties. He's called for an all-party meeting on the 19th of June at 5 p.m. Rahul?
So why the 19th of June? Because there's a crisis at this moment. You're in fact at Raisina Hills. What's your sense of the thinking within the Modi government? What is it that the Prime Minister, who so far he and his government were trying to play down the level of the crisis, the level of the build-up, what do you think they're going to be trying to tell the opposition parties when they meet on the 19th?
Well, as far as why on the 19th of June, 2 days from now, obviously they're still gathering details as to what happened. Engagements continue at various levels and in an attempt to diffuse the situation, as the Indian Army sources have been telling our colleagues as well. So it is a developing situation. They need to get a grip over the situation, get complete details before, of course, they can brief the opposition parties about the same as well. What he will say on the 19th of June, of course, we will know in a couple of days from now in terms of the developments that follow from now onwards until the 19th of June, 5 p.m. But the Prime Minister, of course, looking at the calls, realizing that this is indeed unprecedented, something that everyone is, discussing as probably the biggest development since 1999 and Kargil. So hence he realizes that, it is important to brief everyone so that everyone is on the same page. This is not about politicking. This is about national security, and it's an extremely sensitive situation on the ground. People making ad hoc statements won't help, and hence the Prime Minister needs to take everyone on board and brief them about what has happened and what is going to be the future course of action as far as the Government of India is concerned. Back to you, Rahul.
Rahul Srivastav is our National Affairs Editor. He's joining us live on this broadcast. Rahul, what's your understanding of the thinking within the government? So far, there was no need felt to call an all-party meeting or brief the opposition. What is it that's changed in their thinking so as for the Prime Minister to put out this very somber, serious message saying that there will be an all-party meeting? What are we building up towards?
Rahul, till now, what was happening at the Ladakh borders and the skirmishes with China was more of an incursion, Indian claim versus the Chinese claim. But the death of Indian soldier is definitely a news that will need a wider political consensus in the country. India has seen that vis-a-vis Pakistan in the 90s and then later early 2000s, whenever there was a serious trouble with a neighbor, the Prime Ministers used to bring all the opposition parties and all political parties to create a sense of the nation. And that political consensus is perhaps a need of the hour, given the kind of attack the government is facing and the kind of situation that is prevailing at the LAC. And top sources in the government are saying that the situation is still extremely brittle as far as that region is concerned. The government and the army are keeping a very keen eye. Negotiations are on, but still, what the country needs right now, and that's what the PMO felt, is a need for a national consensus through political parties. And that is one fact which has changed after the bloodbath at the LAC, that the government has decided that it will go in for an all-party consensus. Also, this consensus, Rahul, can be India's attempt to ensure that the kind of propaganda that China has been indulging in, that consensus can be echoed or can resonate all across the globe. And that's what the government will try to present, that India remains united in the face of incursions and hostile intent by the Chinese at the LAC.
Do you have any sense of how the conversation went in the Cabinet Committee on Security meeting that happened yesterday, the viewpoints put out by different sides, and the thinking within the government about how to approach the current situation?
Rahul, one basic element which the Prime Minister and the Defence Minister was, one line which we are hearing is resolute determination. The resolute determination that Indian territory is sovereign, and it cannot, the government will not tolerate or back down as far as India's stand on that its own territory is concerned. There has been a focus that India will not tolerate, will not back down. Negotiations will be on, but India will not negotiate it on the back foot. The attempt would remain that India is what India is doing, and whatever might have triggered the trouble, it is legitimate attempts by India within its own territory. That's what I said. The line which I got told by top sources in the government is resolute determination vis-a-vis the boundaries and territory of India is concerned. There will be no backing down at all.
Okay, no backing down. That's the very, very clear message from the Indian government. But Rahul,